SeanOTRS, and today I'm showing you a game that I had recently in the AMX-10 LCR with Mjolnir in the Ariete and SD Sky and the B1 Draco on Operation Stormy Winter. Now, the AMX-10 LCR is a sort of average wheeled tank destroyer. It's got a great gun that does a whole heap of damage, especially with the heat ammunition. And for its tier, the damage per minute is pretty much through the roof, is 6,300, and a very short reload time. But it's got barely any hit points, and barely any armor, and an aluminium hull. And also the gun depression is annoying, as is the camouflage. But it can do an impressive 86.4 kilometers an hour, which is still pretty slow for a wheeled vehicle, as I bounced that Challenger with all 544mm of my penetration. And I bounce again off the side of the Challenger, which is 300mm effective. Again, 544mm of armor. And then I missed the Leopard. Goes for another shot. You gonna damage that Challenger? Nope. And now my wheels are damaged. This time? Nope. I don't seem to be having much luck with this guy, do I? Oh well. So, following that, I decided to go around to the worst position for a tank destroyer in any map, probably. Because I have to shoot through a wall to hit anything. Pulling up to see if I can get a shot on the Leopard 2A5, which I do. And what do I do now? There's an M8 Thunderbolt over there. He's dead now. So, when in doubt, I go full retard. Shoot a fence. What am I doing? Anyway. Spot the Abrams, get into cover quickly. Bounce it, of course. Expose myself to fire from that Terminator 2 and that M8 Thunderbolt coming around the corner. Take another hit from the Terminator 2. Now, all I need to do is pop smoke, use my rebuild kit and get out of there. Wait, you've used the rebuild kit. Pop smoke. Smoke. Sean, put smoke down. They can see smoke. Smoke down. And we all know how it ends, don't we? So, you may be wondering why I did choose to show you this replay. I played absolutely terribly in it. Well, this replay isn't entirely about me. Let's take another look at this game from the perspective of my platoon mates. So, we're back, this time from SD's point of view, and I will be switching to Mjolnir's point of view from time to time. So you can see here that SD is in the B1 Draco, which is a tier 9 L1 fighting vehicle, which doesn't have a tier 10. It does 348 damage per shot in its 12-shot magazine, which is very powerful, but it only has 255mm of penetration. But that does give it an absolutely outstanding over 8,000 damage per minute. Its hit points, its armor, garbage. It's very fast, although SD does seem to have a little bit of trouble driving it here. Okay, while he takes some shots, we'll take a look at the Ariete. The Ariete is the successor to the Challenger 1 in terms of the tech tree. It has composite armor that's a little bit stronger than the Challenger 1's, tier 8 heavy. And it's got a nice 120mm gun, which At the top level, its heat can do 645 damage per shot with 510mm of penetration. Also, I just want to point out, I know I got the side armor of that Challenger wrong. It's actually nearly 400mm. I just checked it. So while I've been saying this, we can see that SD is getting some great shots off on this Leopard. And he's probably going to be able to get some shots off on that Abrams. Which he does. Nice kill. Now you can see that he's using this side bit of the map over here, which is not what I did, but definitely what I should have done. Because you get crossfire shots across the whole city, pretty much, and AI don't tend to shoot back at you here, even if they do spot you. I'm not actually sure if he spotted, this is a replay. But he is getting a lot of spotting. Back in the Ariete, Miona's just pulling into the city to get some shots on that Leopard 2A5. Which SD should also have some shots on. You can see the crossfire that guy's caught in here. And Miona misses. Because, of course. This is where I went full retard, by the way. Now, this is where SD should probably get his secondaries. As I said, you should get your secondaries, SD. Or not. He does get shot at by that Leopard. There's a massive amount of damage to it, just showing the incredible amount this thing can do. It has a 14-second reload time for its 12-shot magazine, which does give it a pretty incredible rate of damaging, even in the short term. Back on the main battle tank, Frank Miona seems to be getting a little bit overwhelmed, just as I die. That was embarrassing on TeamSpeak, I have to say. Still hasn't got the secondaries. This M8 Thunderbolt is playing quite passively at the moment. In a light tank. Miona's attracting all the damage here, while SD still manages to get loads of great shots off. Now at this point the strategy seems to be getting a bit stale, and Miona seems to be getting very overwhelmed. So he definitely has to retreat out of there. He's got at least 4 tanks on him. So at this point the M8 and SD and the Draco both come right out of the shadows to outflank this lot and get off some great damage numbers. Do notice that he's already on 16,000 damage, which is honestly close to the most damage I've ever done. I'm not terribly good at this game. He's not taking the shot on that Abrams yet. Waits for the side shot. Takes it. Kills it. Doesn't go for the reload, strangely. Oh no, he does, sorry. Finds a Challenger 2. I would like to point out he's managed to get his reload under 12 seconds on this thing, which is pretty phenomenal. Looks for the shot on the Challenger. Doesn't take it. Goes round to see what you can do to that T90MS. Does a little bit of damage, gets shot, pops smoke and runs away, as I should have earlier. Saves this field rebuild kit, which is a good call. Now at this point, all of the currently spawned enemy tanks are pretty much dead, apart from this T90. So they start to head over to the cap. which is where everything begins to get hectic. But I just double the speed until we get there. You can see here he's on perilously low health. One shot could kill him. Trying to get a line of sight on that Type 98. At this point, TeamSpeak was getting a little bit frantic, communicating what to do. Gets some lovely shots in that Type 98. Gets to kill. They both shoot at the M8 Thunderbolt. The older misses. Pop smoke. Gets out of there. I'm not quite sure how he managed to get his reload down by half there. Possibly because he only used half the magazine? I'm not quite sure if that's a mechanic in this game. And then just a kill on that Challenger. And then everyone shoots at the Type 98. That M8 Thunderbolt is getting a little bit campy now. You can see Mjolnir in the Ariete going up, takes a shot. Moving down to 200 health. Ninjas to kill again. Now the M8 and ST and the Draco are heading over to this great spot over here, which is good for when you begin to cap. Because then you get all the spawns in this sort of area, and you get great shots on them, and they tend to only shoot on the person that's capping. So any minute now, Mjolnir needs to start capping. And in he goes. Immediately we get spawns. Although strangely enough the M8's already back over here. And ST's on his way. Mjolnir takes a huge hit there, bringing his house down perilously low. Ninjas to kill there, 1 damage. Not sure if that should even count. Now here we see a Ramka 99, which is a very dangerous thing to this vehicle. Doesn't seem to be shooting back though. I'm not entirely sure where SD's penning him here, since he's doing full damage, so he can't be shooting him in the turret. Take a look at this from over here, shall we? That Ramka 99's over here. You can see the lovely shots that they're getting. Suddenly, SD takes a massive hit, pops smoke, gets outflanked by the Ramka, and pulls his field rebuild kit, luckily. That was nearly the end of his game. Which would have been an absolute bummer, since he's now on 26,000 damage. Now they spot a T9 TMS, which is a huge threat here, because it's completely outflanking. Quite an odd spawn point if you ask me. Now Mjolnir in the Ariete uses his field rebuild kit, finishes off the Ramka 99, and now this game's almost over. There's still a Challenger 2 to deal with. Both miss. SD gets shots but doesn't take them. Then the light tank outflanks and gets perfect shots on that Charlie. And then the armoured fighting vehicle brigade spawns. They've disappeared now, but they were just over here. We're going to keep an eye so we can see when they respawn. Wait for it. Now here's one of them, and you can see the Terminator 2's going over there. That's a surprising amount of tanks that have managed to move that far, considering their AI. It's also a massive spawn. Now this is where SD gets into his big bit of trouble. So against the Terminator 2 in a tier 10 challenger. And then the Stingray appears. Pops smoke, gets out of there. Looks for the shot, gets it. Doesn't get shot back up from the Thunderbolt. Doing the full 12.47 second reload there. I believe that's his full reload. Very lucky to not get killed by that Stingray. Can't afford to take another kill. He's still taking risks here. Now he could get a lot more damage in. But of course he's going to try, isn't he? Playing it safe, playing it safe. And then he... Oh my god, my phone's gone off. Shoots the T90. Lovely damage rolls there. He can finish off the Stingray. He does. That's nearly the end of this game now. Draco and Mjolnir in the M8 and C1 Ariete sweeping up the kills. But SD's still doing quite a bit of damage here and there. Get some lovely shots off on that Stingray. Brings his damage up to 38,000. And that's game. So, here we saw SD in the B1 Draco having a very good game and dealing close to 40,000 damage. Excuse me, something in my throat. And we saw me in the MX-10 RCR absolutely sucking. That's all from me. See you next time. I've been SeanOTRS.